I wanted to let you know that crews are closing the Bankhead Tunnel right now ahead of predicted storm surge, and AlDOT expects the tunnel to reopen sometime tomorrow when the flooding recedes. High tide comes around 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, so the Bankhead is being closed. And we are seeing, after what's really been a decline in the storm surge levels across our area this evening, starting to see that beginning to tick back up as we're getting back on the higher end of the tide cycle. We're noticing that down at Dauphin Island. Also, winds are starting to come around out of the south. Here's an update on Ida, a dangerous hurricane that is absolutely terrible in New Orleans right now. This is from DSU, a live feed there. And what's going on is that this system is getting a piece of the eye wall, or the outer edges of the eye wall, in New Orleans, especially the west side of town out towards Metairie. And this was not expected. This thing is actually wobbled a little to the right. It's more of a northerly motion, and that is bringing the core of the storm over the New Orleans metro area, and it's moving slower. So New Orleans has been getting pummeled by what's really, I was talking with meteorologist Matt Barentine about this, more wind than New Orleans saw during Katrina. Katrina was a larger storm, and it brought in a ton of surge, and it was horrible in New Orleans, but it wasn't as big of a wind maker, especially for the west side of town, and this one is verifying. Winds at 120. It is still a major hurricane. Of course, it's weakening a little, but it's still a potentially catastrophic event for places like Laplace and Metairie. And then here we are on the far eastern side of it, where we're getting active weather here as well. The track is going to keep it very close to our part of the Gulf Coast, especially if it's taking more of a northerly track over southeastern Louisiana, and we'll see active weather here through tomorrow evening with the potential of flooding. So Ida, 120, getting the core of the storm very close to New Orleans, especially the west side of town. And out over in our area, we had a little lull over Mobile with our rainfall around the 6 o'clock hour. That is about out the window now, though, as heavier bands are coming back in off of the Gulf. And areas that have already seen as much as 6 inches of rain, look at these cells starting to show up with some deeper colors. That means we are going to see a heavier rain situation going on there in Fairhope. We're getting it down here towards Grand Bay and Irvington. We're seeing it down in Gulf Shores, and this rain band is going to keep spreading back across the area. So it comes and it goes, and right now it's coming down out there across the Gulf Coast region. You can see headed up into West Mobile. We're getting the rain moving back in over Dog River, and this is the biggest concern. Coastal flooding and then freshwater flooding. Those are the two elements that are going to be the most severe for us. We're not expecting to see widespread wind problems, but it is possible to see some tropical storm force winds over the western side of the area where that wind field's beginning to expand. We're also under a flash flood warning right now for the Pensacola area and up into Escambia County. We also have a flash flood warning for the Fort Morgan Peninsula. That may be continued. New tornado watch up that will extend until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Here's that wind field trying to edge into Mobile County. We're at least going to get some gusts to tropical storm force as the wind field is spreading out. You can see how New Orleans is getting clocked by hurricane force winds. We've had a number of reports of wind gusts up near 100 miles an hour and a lot of reports of gusts up around 80 miles an hour. So this is a very active weather situation. We're tracking it with team coverage here on Fox 10 News. Meteorologist Jennifer Lambers is also in with an update. Jen?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Jason. So we're talking about those stronger winds, but also this rain that we're seeing. And so far, we've seen a bit of it. So as we do take a look at those rainfall totals so far, you can start to see those different colors. Looking over towards New Orleans, well, you start to see some of that red, that yellow, that's 7. That yellow, that's over 10 inches of rainfall. Here locally, we're still seeing quite a bit of rain, but expecting even further amounts heading on into midweek. Now we start to see some of those totals that we've seen, and those amounts over 6 inches in southern Baldwin County, Escambia County, close to 4 inches, but even just south of Molino, over 6 inches there too. And once you get over towards Mobile County, also continuing to see just near 4 inches. Now currently at this time, we're under that tornado watch with more of these rain bands that we're going to be seeing push onshore. but also we're under a flash flood watch at this time too. This is going to be an extension until Tuesday. So you start to see that on Tuesday morning. Yeah, well, that means that we're going to be seeing that rainfall amounts until that time. So as we do take a look at our rain forecast, we're going to start to see those amounts and exceeding amounts. So Dauphin Island, you can start to see close to 10 inches, expecting to pick up further. Other areas 8 to 10. And this is going to be on top of what we've already seen. This is for the next 48 hours. So go ahead and add that on top of that, plus also southeasterly winds and those tides coming in tomorrow. We're going to start to see those rise, that high tide just around 3 a.m. and those southeasterly winds persisting. We'll continue to keep you updated here on Fox 10 News throughout the way. We will continue with our hourly cut-ins. The next one coming to you at 8 o'clock. Plus also we do have Fox 10 News at 9 p.m. starting just in about 2 hours. We'll see you then.